What's up everybody, Gundam Flexing here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 1/100 completed Gundam Kimaris booster unit type from Iron-Blooded Orphans IBO. This model came out in 2016 of March, and typical price of all 1/100s is roughly around $30. This kit took me roughly around 3.5 hours, I like to say, to finish building. I was experimenting and trying to brush up on my panel line skills, and the panel lines that I did is on his shoulders. And one mistake I did there was that I tried to use the panel lining pen and instead of the ink, which I have. And although this model offers you a lot of opportunities to panel line, it may not be deep enough for the actual pen tip. So if you're going to use a pen and you happen to have a scribbler, I would highly recommend that. As is tradition, before we go into the model you see in front of you, I would like to go over the stickers and all the extra pieces you don't see on the kit. So coming up first is the sticker sheet, and here it is. You get a lot of silver pieces on the top, you get a few black pieces on the bottom left, and you have a yellow sticker right here. The yellow sticker goes to the center of his forehead. The bottom black ones are pretty much for thrusters. And then you have the silver ones here. You notice that we have half circles there, and they go on joints, but you will not see it unless if you move the flaps in and out of the way, specifically the ones around his skirt. And then finally, you have this giant silver piece here, which goes underneath his chest plate. And the 1/100s is definitely a step above a high grade, but it's not fully a step to the master grade. So what was going on here was how master grades allow you to take off armor pieces, so that way the modeler could pose or do whatever they want and show the intricacies of the inside model. I think the high grade tried to do that as well. That's why you have a skeleton system, and that's why you also have stickers to represent some intricacy underneath his body armor. But again, you're not going to see this piece unless if you move the chest plate. And now for the extra pieces. Coming up is the extra shoulder pieces. This is like the shoulder joints, which connects the giant round shoulders to the actual joint. You have little extra pieces that go on top of his shoulders where the razors are. Extra hands, the back part of the hands. This portion I think is for the skirt, and this is the bottom portion of the skirt. And there are no reasons to use these pieces interchangeably. I just pretty sure they're just extra pieces. You have a pair of feet that goes on the top. And then you have these two pieces, which I'm not sure where they go. Again, none of these pieces are really interchangeable in the fact that they're different. They're just extra. This model comes with a total of 4 hands, so 2 pairs. One pair is this one, and they're the open hands. And then the other pair is on the model. It's pretty much a grip hand, one for the lance and the other for the other weapon system. The weapon systems are interchangeable throughout the hands, so that's that. The weapon system right now on the model is the giant lance, which is much taller than the actual model itself. And then the second one is a foldable dagger. It's this very simple piece. It's only 2 pieces, and you just put it together and it's foldable. And just like the lance, this piece you could also see where the hands grip it, so that way it'll just stay firmly in the hand. And then finally, right now what I have on the model is the booster type, but the booster type does come out and you're able to replace it with a small little jetpack like this. Now for the model itself. The model is pretty imposing in the fact that his legs could expand and he has a giant booster unit on his back. His flaps on the side of the shoulders could move up and down, and he has a very intimidating lance. However, this kit does have some weaknesses. One is about the shoulder right here. Some of the pieces actually won't hold itself into place, while others sort of will, like that. In addition, what I noticed with IBOs, as addition to most of their traditional designs, is that, for example, some other kits are able to swivel themselves 360 degrees around and round. This one is limited by the hydraulic systems on the side of his abdominal. So if I'm going to bring this guy up closer, he could only twist to the left and right to the limit of these hydraulics. So if you push it too far, they'll pop out and you're going to have to take them apart and put them back in. It's a little bit annoying, but that is something you want to keep your eye out. Looking at his head, I tried panel line his head again with the pen. Big mistake, should have just used the ink. Looking at his shoulders, so we mentioned about the razor things, and this is also featured in the high grade as well. So if I move this up, it reveals a cool little weapon system right there. But funny enough that if I do it on the other side, if I raise it, it's not strong enough to hold itself up. So if I do it like that, and he sort of goes back in like this. So yes, this kit does have a little bit of weaknesses around it. And because it's so large, I think that it's really meant to be posed not on its feet, but more like on a stand. But anyways, underneath him all is an internal skeleton system, which is pretty cool. It makes the build a lot simpler. You just build the skeleton system, put the armor pieces you want, and you're good to go. Also, which you'll notice is these two teal pieces. If you have the high grade, those are definitely stickers, but this is the 1/100, so it's actually pieces itself, which is quite nice. This is what the side of the flap looks like. Side of the flap. We're going to turn him around, and we're going to see his booster type. Now his booster type is big, but again, like just like the lance, it's pretty simple. You have these two pieces, which are individual pieces, the stickers right here for his boosters, and their boosters are connected to the backpack via a ball joint. So yes, it could go like this on either one. Doesn't really matter. Like that. You can go up and down like that as well. If we look at the bottom where the giant two boosters are, it's funny because when I finish, I forgot that the two flaps here don't actually move, like expand. But the whole system itself, yes, it may go up and down, but I thought these two flaps could open up, which would have been a pretty cool feature. Just makes him more open once we go down to the legs. If we take off his booster, it goes in very simple and can come out just as easy like that. And we could replace it with his little backpack like this. Like that. There you go. And one thing to keep out for the booster, as I mentioned, that I really don't think you're meant to pose this on his feet, but the booster is so large and heavy compared to his whole center of balance that posing him straight without him falling can be a little bit difficult. Yep, this is his lance. It's pretty long. And we look at his skirt. Every part of his skirt is movable, so his front flaps, his side flaps, and his turtle shell back flap as well. What's cool, again, if you have the high grade, these two triangular pieces on top of his skirt, they are stickers, but for this one, they're actual individual pieces. Looking at his legs, the biggest feature on the legs is expandable leg, which just goes like this, like that. Expand it. It actually fits pretty well once you close it together, which is why I'm having a little issue bringing it out. Originally, I had them out, but for balancing issues, I just closed them back in. And this is his legs, open up with little boosters at the bottom, there. And his legs, or his feet, is foldable, and they are collapsible in order for him to look like he's about to charge, like such. But again, when you put them in, they fit well, but they still see a little bit of crease in it, which is fine. You just have to push down on it really, really hard. And then if you want to take it apart, you're going to have to try to slide in your nails like I'm doing now and try to create that space to push them apart. His arm just fell. I guess that's a good example to show you how a little bit weak this model is in general. If you look at the bottom part here, where you see the little groove, that's how he actually fits it into his shoulder joint. So it is a little bit easy to come out. This is his arm. This is his lance. So compared to his lance is so much taller. And I want to put his arm back in like this. I'll push it in like that. So overall, this model is around $30. If I had to compare it to the high grade or recommend it to the high grade, I would definitely say it depends on what you want. The Gundam Kimaris 1100 is obviously going to be much bigger. It's going to be more imposing, has a very giant weapon system, has a lot of opportunities panel line. Recommend not going with the pen, and if you only have the pen, I hope you have a scribbler, that way you're able to make the panels just a little bit deeper. This kit does have some balancing issues because it's so large, and the booster unit on its back is so large as well. And the fact that the feet could also collapse in and out, and they're pretty small, so I don't think you're able to balance his whole body weight on them as efficiently. So yeah, I would definitely just probably recommend the high grade at the moment. The 1100 isn't bad, it's just a little bit frustrating when you're trying to pose him, and when you have like glaring pieces, weakness like this that can't hold up, or the part right here, it just won't stay up either. It's sort of a bummer to have it, especially on a flawed kit. I want to say this is completely flawed, but it is a little bit annoying. And now I'm just trying to balance him. That's all I have to say about this, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post it down in the section below. As always, I appreciate your watching, and I hope this was informative, and I hope he doesn't fall. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.